You thought part 1 was intense. Trust me, the real drama begins now. Stay till the end. You won't want to miss a single second. I wake up before my alarm. That never happens. Usually, I need the loud ringing to drag me out of bed. Today, my eyes open on their own. I stare at the ceiling for a few seconds before letting out a slow breath. Get it together, Adrian. I throw the blanket off and sit up. The house is still quiet. Good. I pull on a black t-shirt and sweatpants before heading downstairs. Halfway down the stairs, I hear soft humming. I stop. It's coming from the kitchen. Curious, I walk a little closer. Sienna is standing by the stove with her back to me. Her hair is tied into a loose ponytail, but a few strands have escaped and fallen around her face. Every few seconds, she blows at them before giving up and tucking them behind her ear. She's making pancakes. A bowl of batter sits on the counter beside her. She carefully pours another scoop into the frying pan. The smell reminds me of Saturday mornings years ago. Before everything changed. Before life became so quiet. She flips the pancake with a careful shake of the pan. It lands perfectly. She smiles to herself. Yes, she whispers. I don't even realize I'm smiling until she suddenly turns around. Our eyes meet. She jumps. Oh! The spatula almost slips from her hand. You scared me. I wasn't trying to. She presses a hand against her chest. My heart is still racing. Sorry. She lets out a small laugh. It's okay. An awkward silence follows. She looks at the pancakes, then back at me. I hope you don't mind. What? I use the kitchen. I blink. She actually thinks she needs permission. It's your kitchen too. The words leave my mouth before I can think about them. She looks surprised. Then she smiles. Thank you. That smile stays with me long after I leave the kitchen. By the time everyone comes downstairs, breakfast is ready. Mom's eyes grow wide. Sienna, you made all this? Sienna nods shyly. I wasn't sure what everyone liked, so I made pancakes, eggs and toast. Dad grins. This looks amazing. Noah walks into the dining room just then. He breathes in deeply. I knew staying another night was the right decision. Everyone laughs. Even me. We sit down together. Dad takes one bite of a pancake. Oh, wow. Mom nods quickly. These are delicious. Noah points his fork at Sienna. You've officially become my favorite cook. She laughs. That's a big title. I don't give it away easily. She smiles again. Thanks. I notice something. Every time someone compliments her, she immediately thanks them. She never says she's proud of herself. Never says she worked hard. Never accepts the praise. Instead, she keeps saying things like, I'm glad you like it. It wasn't difficult. I'm happy it turned out okay. She gives everyone credit except herself. It's like she doesn't believe she deserves to hear something nice. The thought stays with me. Later that afternoon, I walk into the living room with my hockey bag over my shoulder. Coach added an extra practice before next week's match. I'm about to leave when Noah speaks. Hey, Sienna. She looks up from the novel she's reading. Yeah, you've never watched hockey before, right? She shakes her head. No. You should come. She blinks. Me? Sure. She laughs nervously. I don't know anything about hockey. That's the point. He grins. I'll teach you. She glances at Mom. Would that be okay? Mom smiles. I think it sounds fun. Dad nods. Go enjoy yourself. Sienna looks uncertain for another moment before smiling. Okay. Noah claps his hands together. Perfect. Then he turns to me. You don't mind, do you? I shrug. Do whatever you want. Those words sound calm, but something inside me doesn't feel calm at all. The hockey arena is colder than usual. The moment we step inside, Sienna wraps her arms around herself. It's freezing. Noah laughs. You'll get used to it. She looks around with wide eyes. The bright lights reflect off the ice. Players skate across the rink during warm-ups. The sound of blades cutting through the ice fills the arena. It's beautiful, she whispers. I pretend I didn't hear her. Coach blows his whistle. Let's move. Practice begins. For the next hour, I try to focus. Passing drills, speed drills, shots on goal. Everything should be normal. Instead, every time I skate past the benches, my eyes find Sienna. She's sitting beside Noah, watching carefully, asking questions, clapping whenever someone scores. Why am I even looking over there? Focus. I force myself to concentrate. Practice ends. Players begin leaving the ice. I skate toward the bench to grab my water bottle. That's when I hear Noah. Sienna. She turns. Yeah. Come here. She walks over. He picks up an extra hockey stick leaning against the boards. You wanted to know how this works, right? She nods. A little. He hands her the stick. She almost drops it. Oh. He laughs. It's heavier than it looks. I wasn't expecting that. He steps behind her. No, hold it like this. He reaches around her. One hand gently moves hers higher on the stick. The top hand controls it. She nods. Okay. The other hand goes lower. He adjusts it again. There. She smiles. I think I've got it. Nope. He chuckles. You'll know when you've got it. For some reason, I stop walking. I stand there watching them. Noah says something that makes her laugh. Then he leans even closer. His shoulder brushes hers. She doesn't seem uncomfortable. She's smiling, listening, trying. Something hot and unpleasant twists inside my chest. I don't like it. Not one bit. Before I even realize what I'm doing, I'm pushing off across the ice. Fast. The cold air rushes past my face. A few seconds later, I stop right in front of them. Noah looks up. His eyebrows lift. Well, he smiles. That was dramatic. I ignore him. My eyes stay on Sienna. She's looking at me with confusion. What happened? Nothing. Everything. Noah spins the stick in his hand. Relax. He grins. I'm just teaching her. The words hit something inside me. Before I can think. Before I can stop myself. I'll do it. Silence. Noah blinks. You. Yes. He studies my face for a long second. Then a slow smile spreads across his lips. I didn't know you cared so much about proper hockey lessons. I care about doing it right. MHM. He clearly doesn't believe me. But he hands me the stick anyway. Be my guest. He steps aside. Sienna looks between us. You don't have to if you're tired. I'm not. She hesitates before handing me the stick. I take a deep breath. Stand here. She does. Face forward. She turns toward the rink. I move behind her. Close enough to reach the stick. Not close enough to touch her. At least, that was the plan. Lift your left hand. She does. No. I gently take her wrist. Like this. I slide her hand a little higher. There. She looks down. Oh. Your grip is too tight. It is. You're squeezing it. I don't want to drop it. You won't. I carefully loosen her fingers. The moment my hand covers hers, my heartbeat stumbles. Her skin is warm. Soft. Mine suddenly feel too cold. I quickly let go. Better. She nods. What's next? Your right hand. She moves it. Too low. No. I step closer. Here. My fingers brush against hers again. This time, I can smell her shampoo. Something light. Sweet. Fresh. I swallow hard. Is this right? She asks. Almost. I move her hand another inch. There. She smiles. You're a much stricter teacher than Noah. I let out a quiet breath that almost sounds like a laugh. He talks too much. She giggles. I noticed. Across the rink, Noah folds his arms. I'm standing right here, you know. Neither of us answers. For the next hour, I show her the basics. How to hold the stick. How to balance. How to move it across the ice without losing control. Every now and then, she gets something wrong. Every time she does, I step behind her again. Each accidental brush of our hands sends another wave of heat through me. My pulse refuses to slow down. I keep reminding myself to focus on the lesson. On hockey, not on the way she laughs whenever she almost loses her balance. Not on the way she bites her lip when she's concentrating. Not on the way she quietly says, sorry, every time she makes a mistake. She has no idea what she's doing to me. The truth is, I barely survive it myself. After one final try, she swings the stick properly. The puck glides smoothly across the ice. Her eyes grow wide. I did it! She spins around so quickly that she's suddenly standing right in front of me. Her cheeks are pink from the cold. Her eyes shine with excitement. Then she looks up at me with the brightest smile I've ever seen. Thanks, Adrian. Why does hearing my name on her lips feel so dangerous? I can't stop thinking about what happened at the hockey rink. Even after we get home. Even after I shower and change into my pajamas. Even after I crawl into bed. Every time I close my eyes, I see Adrian standing behind me, showing me how to hold the hockey stick. He barely spoke. But somehow, I never felt nervous. I felt safe. That thought alone makes me sit up in bed. What's wrong with me? I whisper to myself. Just a few days ago, I was convinced Adrian hated me. Now I don't know what to think. I pull the blanket up to my chin and stare out the window. The moon shines brightly over the garden. Maybe I judged him too quickly. The next morning, I wake up smiling. That surprises me. I haven't smiled this much since Dad died. I quickly stop myself. A smile feels wrong, like I'm forgetting him. I press a hand against my chest. I'm sorry, Dad, I whisper. I still miss you. I always will. After getting dressed, I head downstairs. The smell of bacon fills the kitchen. Richard is already reading the newspaper while drinking coffee. Mom is making tea. Noah is sitting at the table, scrolling through his phone. Morning, Mom says. Morning. Richard smiles over the top of his newspaper. Sleep well. I did. Good. Noah grins. Our hockey star still asleep. Before anyone answers, Adrian walks into the kitchen. His hair is slightly messy, like he just rolled out of bed. He mumbles a quiet, morning. Then he reaches into the cupboard for a mug. His eyes briefly meet mine. For just a second, he gives the smallest nod. I smile without thinking. Morning. He nods again before looking away. That's it. No cold stare. No sharp words. Just normal. I don't know why that tiny moment makes me so happy. The day passes quietly. I finish unpacking the last of my clothes. Mom shows me the garden behind the house. Richard leaves for work. Noah spends the afternoon watching sports in the living room. Adrian disappears into his room to study. Everything feels peaceful. Almost. Like a real family. That thought scares me. Can I really belong here? Later that afternoon, I open one of the kitchen cupboards. There are bags of flour, sugar, chocolate chips, butter, vanilla. I smile. Dad always loved my cookies. Whenever I baked them, he would steal one before they had even cooled. Then he'd pretend he hadn't touched them. I can almost hear him saying, I was just checking the quality. A laugh escapes my lips. I know exactly what you were doing, Dad. My eyes sting for a moment, but instead of crying, I decide to bake. Maybe it will help. Mom walks into the kitchen just as I'm tying on an apron. Oh! She looks surprised. What are you making? Cookies. For us. I nod. I thought everyone might like some. Her face softens. That's sweet of you. I hope they turn out okay. They will. She gently squeezes my shoulder before leaving me to work. I measure the flour carefully. Then the sugar, butter, eggs, vanilla, chocolate chips. Soon, the kitchen is filled with the rich smell of fresh cookies baking in the oven. Noah wanders in first. He sniffs the air dramatically. I smell happiness. I laugh. Or cookies. Same thing. He leans against the counter. Can I have one? They're still baking. I'll wait. 5 minutes later, Adrian walks through the kitchen on his way to get water. He slows for half a second. His eyes move toward the oven, then toward me. What? I ask with a smile. Nothing. You looked. I didn't. You did. I smelled something. So you were curious. I wasn't. Noah bursts out laughing. He caught you. Adrian grabs his bottle of water. I have homework. He quickly leaves. Noah watches him disappear. He definitely wanted a cookie. I giggle. I think so too. That evening, after dinner, I place a large plate of warm cookies in the middle of the dining table. Help yourselves. Richard takes one first. He bites into it. His eyes widen. Oh. Mom smiles. That good. He nods while chewing. Very. Mom tries one. So soft. Noah grabs two. These are dangerous. Dangerous. I won't be able to stop eating. Everyone laughs. Adrian walks into the dining room just then. He glances at the plate, then at everyone else. Mom smiles at him. Sienna made cookies. I noticed. Have one. He hesitates, then picks up a single cookie. He takes one bite. His face doesn't change. He quietly finishes the cookie, then walks away without saying a word. I blink. Did he not like it? Mom smiles knowingly. If Adrian doesn't like food, he leaves it. Oh, he finished the whole thing. Richard chuckles. Trust me, he liked it. That makes me smile. More than it probably should. I wake up before sunrise the next morning. The house is silent. I stretch before climbing out of bed. I'm thirsty. I quietly walk downstairs, so I won't wake anyone. The kitchen light is already on. That's strange. I step inside. Someone is standing by the counter. Back facing me. Broad shoulders. Dark hair. Adrian. He's holding the cookie plate. Only, the plate is almost empty. I blink. Last night it was full. Now there are only 3 cookies left. I look from the plate to Adrian, back to the plate. Then, he reaches for another cookie. He lifts it toward his mouth. I clear my throat. Ahem. He freezes. Completely freezes. The cookie stops halfway to his mouth. Slowly, very slowly, he turns around. Our eyes meet. For 3 long seconds, neither of us speaks. Then his eyes drift to the cookie in his hand. Back to me. A faint look of embarrassment crosses his face. You. He clears his throat. Weren't supposed to see this. I stare at him. Then at the nearly empty plate. Then back at him. A laugh slips out before I can stop it. He sighs. It's not funny. It is. I laugh harder. You ate almost all of them. I didn't eat all of them. I point at the plate. There are only 3 left. I was hungry. Very hungry. He rubs the back of his neck. I trained yesterday, so that explains 12 cookies. He mutters something too quietly for me to hear. What? I said maybe. I burst into laughter again. The sound fills the quiet kitchen. For the first time in a long time, it feels good to laugh. I look at him with a grin. So you do like my cooking? He looks away. His ears have turned slightly red. Don't make a big deal out of it. I wasn't expecting you to be the biggest cookie thief in the house. I'm not a thief. No. I live here. So that gives you permission to steal cookies. They were on the table. I fold my arms. That's not an answer. He finally looks back at me. The corner of his mouth twitches. I said don't make a big deal out of it. I don't think I can. He shakes his head, trying very hard not to smile. You laugh too much. I thought you didn't like my baking. I never said that. You also never said you liked it. I ate them. I grin. I noticed. For a second, neither of us says anything. The kitchen is quiet again. But this silence feels different. Comfortable. Easy. He breaks off a small piece of the cookie still in his hand. Then, without saying anything, he holds it out toward me. I blink. For me. You made them. I smile and take the piece. Thank you. It's only fair. I taste it. It's still good. It was always good. The words leave his mouth, so naturally that I don't think he even realizes what he has admitted. I raise an eyebrow. So, you really like them? He sighs dramatically. I walked right into that. You really did. This time, he actually smiles. Not just a tiny twitch. A real smile. It changes his whole face. He looks younger, warmer, kinder. Without thinking, I smile back. The rest of the day feels strangely different. Whenever we pass each other in the hallway, we smile. When I hand him a glass of juice at lunch, he quietly says, thanks. When I accidentally drop my notebook, he picks it up before I can bend down. Neither of us says much. We don't need to. Something between us has changed. Something small. Something quiet. But it's there. I don't know what it is. I only know that being around Adrian doesn't feel uncomfortable anymore. Across the dining room, Noah looks from me to Adrian, then back to me. His smile slowly fades. He says nothing, but the thoughtful look in his eyes tells me he has noticed every little change between us. And Noah doesn't know how to feel about it. I always thought I understood Adrian. We've been best friends for so many years that I can usually tell what he's thinking before he even says a word. The funny thing is, he hardly says any words. Most people think he's cold, quiet, impossible to read. I know better. He's just the kind of person who locks everything inside. Even when we're celebrating a hockey win, he's never the loudest person in the room. Even when he's angry, he rarely raises his voice. I've always been the opposite. I laugh too loudly. I talk too much. I make friends everywhere. That's probably why our friendship works. We're completely different. Or at least, I thought we were. The first thing that makes me suspicious happens on Monday morning. I'm sitting at the kitchen island, scrolling through messages on my phone while waiting for coffee. Sienna walks into the kitchen, rubbing her eyes. She still looks sleepy. Morning, she says with a yawn. Morning, sleeping beauty, I tease. She laughs softly. I was reading until late. I can tell. She opens one of the cupboards and reaches for a mug. Before she can pour herself coffee, Adrian speaks from behind the newspaper he's pretending to read. Not that one. She looks confused. What? That's Dad's coffee. She blinks. Oh. Without another word, Adrian stands up. He walks to another cupboard, takes down a different tin, and places it in front of her. You like the lighter roast? Sienna stares at him. I do. You said it was less bitter. I only mentioned that once. He shrugs. I remembered. Then he quietly sits back down and continues reading as if nothing happened. Sienna slowly makes her coffee. I don't miss the surprised smile on her face. Neither do I miss the fact that Adrian never looks up from the newspaper again. Interesting. Very interesting. Over the next few days, I start noticing more things. Little things. Tiny things. Things nobody else seems to see. Like Tuesday afternoon, we're all watching a movie in the living room. Sienna keeps trying to hide little yawns behind her hand. Mom doesn't notice. Dad doesn't notice. I don't notice until Adrian suddenly pauses the movie. Everyone looks at him. What? Dad asks. He nods towards Sienna. She's tired. Sienna quickly shakes her head. I'm okay. No, you're not. She laughs. Am I that obvious? You've yawned 6 times. She looks shocked. You counted. Adrian seems to realize what he just admitted. He clears his throat. I wasn't counting. You literally said 6. I guessed. I bite the inside of my cheek to stop myself from laughing. Sure, Adrian. You guessed. Then there's Wednesday. We're walking across campus after class. The sky suddenly turns dark. A cold wind blows through the courtyard. Sienna shivers. Before she can say anything, Adrian silently takes off his jacket. He holds it out to her. She looks at it. What about you? I'm fine, but you'll be cold. I'll survive. She smiles. Thank you. She slips the jacket on. It hangs loosely around her. She looks tiny inside it. Adrian looks away almost immediately, like he doesn't want anyone to notice what he just did. Unfortunately for him, I notice everything. That's when the truth finally hits me. Hard. Adrian likes her. Not as a stepsister. Not as someone living in his house. As a woman. The realization settles heavily in my chest. I should feel happy for him. He's my best friend. Instead, I feel something else. Something I've been trying very hard to ignore. Because the truth is, I'm falling for Sienna too. I lean against my locker after hockey practice and close my eyes. This is bad. Very bad. I made myself a promise. The morning after that night. The night I met her. She had been crying in that bar. Completely heartbroken. I couldn't leave her alone. I made sure she got safely to a hotel. One thing led to another. The next morning, we both woke up shocked, confused, embarrassed. Before I could explain anything, she quietly left. I told myself that was the end of it. A mistake. A moment that would never happen again. Then, she walked into Adrian's house as his new stepsister. Life has a strange sense of humor. Since then, I've tried to forget that night. I've treated her like nothing more than Adrian's family. I've kept my distance whenever I felt myself remembering how gentle she was, how vulnerable she looked, how softly she smiled. But every day, she makes it harder. She thanks everyone. She worries about everyone. She keeps putting other people before herself. And somewhere along the way, I stopped trying not to like her. Thursday afternoon, my last lecture finishes earlier than expected. Students begin pouring out of the building. I spot Sienna walking alone with a stack of books in her arms. I jog over. Hey! She turns. Oh, hi. Heading home. Eventually, I point toward the street across from campus. Want to grab a coffee first? She hesitates. I don't want to keep you. You're not. She smiles. Okay. My heart beats a little faster than it should. The cafe is warm and cozy. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air. Soft music plays through hidden speakers. We choose a table near the window. A waitress walks over. What can I get you too? Sienna studies the menu. I'll have a caramel latte, please. I grin, still choosing sweet drinks. She laughs. They make me happy. I'll have a black coffee. The waitress smiles. I'll be right back. When she leaves, silence settles between us for a moment. Not awkward, just quiet. I rest my arms on the table. So, tell me something about yourself that nobody knows. She thinks for a second. I still sleep with the small teddy bear my dad gave me when I was 8. I smile. Really? She nods. It makes me feel like he's still close. The smile fades from my face. I'm sorry. It's okay. No. I shake my head. It isn't. She looks out the window. I miss him every day. I know. She looks back at me. You do. I can see it. Her eyes soften. Thank you. The waitress returns with our drinks. After she leaves, the conversation becomes easier. We talk about school, books, music, childhood memories. She tells me how terrible she was at learning to ride a bicycle. I tell her about the time Adrian accidentally fell into a duck pond instead of the fountain. She laughs, so hard that people at the next table glance over. You are making that up. I'm not. He'll kill you if he hears this. Worth it. She wipes tears of laughter from her eyes. I haven't laughed this much in a long time. Neither have I. Hours seem to disappear without either of us noticing. For a little while, it almost feels like a real date. Then the bell above the cafe door rings. I glance toward the entrance. My smile fades. Adrian. He's still wearing his university hoodie. A notebook is tucked under one arm. He clearly wasn't expecting to see us. His eyes find mine first. Then, they move to Sienna. She's smiling, still laughing from my last joke. The moment Adrian sees us sitting together, his expression changes. The tiny smile he'd been wearing disappears. His jaw tightens almost too quickly to notice. He doesn't say a word. He simply stands there for one long second, looking at us, looking at the 2 untouched slices of cake we'd decided to share, looking at Sienna, then at me. Anyone else would miss it. I don't, because I've known Adrian for years. I know every look he has, every silence, every wall he builds. And I know exactly what this one means. Jealousy. Real jealousy. For the first time in our friendship, it feels like we're standing on opposite sides. I never thought my heart could become this confusing. A few weeks ago, my biggest worry was paying rent. Then I lost my dad. I lost my home. I lost the man I thought loved me. Now I'm living in a house that still doesn't quite feel like mine, caught between 2 people who make me feel completely different. Noah makes everything easy. Being around him is like sitting in the warm sunshine after days of rain. He always has a joke ready. He can make me laugh, even when I don't feel like smiling. Talking to him never feels difficult. There's never an awkward silence. Never a moment where I have to wonder what he's thinking. Adrian is different. Being around him is like standing too close to a fire. Quiet. Unpredictable. He hardly speaks, yet somehow he says so much without opening his mouth. One small smile from him stays in my mind for hours. One kind gesture from him makes my heart beat faster than it should. I don't understand it. I really don't. That evening, everyone finishes dinner earlier than usual. Richard has paperwork to finish in his office. Mom disappears upstairs with a book. Noah gets a phone call from one of his teammates and spends almost an hour talking in the backyard. Adrian quietly excuses himself after washing his plate. I've got assignments. No one stops him. I help Mom wipe the kitchen counters before she kisses my forehead. Don't stay up too late. I won't. After she leaves, I make myself a cup of tea. The house feels peaceful. For the first time in a long while, I don't feel like an unwanted guest. I carry my tea upstairs and sit on my bed with a novel. Outside, the wind grows stronger. The curtains move gently with every breeze that slips through the slightly open window. A few minutes later, rain begins tapping softly against the glass. I smile. Dad loved rainy nights. He always said rain made the world slow down. I close my eyes for a second, remembering him. I miss you. The words leave my lips quietly. I hope you're proud of me. A tear rolls down my cheek before I wipe it away. I'm trying. Around 10 o'clock, the storm gets worse. The wind whistles outside. Thunder rumbles across the sky. Then, everything goes dark. The lamp beside my bed shuts off. The hallway light disappears. Even the air conditioner stops humming. Oh! I blink into the darkness. The power's out. The whole house becomes silent except for the rain outside. I wait for a minute, then another. The electricity doesn't come back. I sigh. So much for reading. I place the book on my bedside table. A few minutes later, I realize something else. I'm thirsty. I grope around until I find my phone. Its flashlight lights up the room. Carefully, I make my way into the hallway. The house feels completely different in the dark. Every little sound seems louder. The wooden stairs creak beneath my feet. Rain beats against the windows. Another roll of thunder shakes the house. I hurry toward the kitchen. But as I pass the living room, I notice a faint glow. A candle. Someone is already awake. I peek inside. Adrian is sitting on the sofa. One candle flickers on the coffee table, throwing soft shadows across the room. He's leaning back with one arm resting on the sofa, staring out the window. He looks over when he hears my footsteps. You couldn't sleep either? His voice is calm. I shake my head. I wanted some water. He nods toward the kitchen. The bottles are in the fridge. I know. Neither of us moves. For some reason, I stay standing there. So, I say quietly. So, I smile. You're not very good at starting conversations. No. I noticed. The corner of his mouth lifts. Just a little. I surprise myself by walking into the living room instead of the kitchen. Mind if I sit? He shakes his head. No. I sit on the other end of the sofa. The candle between us flickers again. Outside, rain continues pouring down. For a while, neither of us says anything. Strangely, it doesn't feel awkward. The silence feels peaceful, comfortable, like we don't need to fill every second with words. I look toward the window. I used to love storms. You don't anymore. My dad made them less scary. Adrian turns his head slightly. How? He'd make hot chocolate. I smile at the memory. Then we'd sit by the window and count how many seconds passed between the lightning and the thunder. He listens without interrupting. He always said if we counted together, we'd be too busy to be afraid. I laugh softly. It worked every time. The smile slowly fades. I miss that. Adrian looks down at his hands. I know. His voice is so quiet that I almost don't hear it. I swallow the lump in my throat. What about you? He looks surprised. What about me? You've been playing hockey forever. He lets out a small breath. Pretty much. Did your dad teach you? A tiny smile appears on his face. When I was 6. Really? He nods. I couldn't even stand on the ice. I laugh. I don't believe that. It's true. He leans back. The first time Dad took me skating, I fell every few seconds. No. I spent more time lying on the ice than standing. I cover my mouth to hide another laugh. I wish I'd seen that. So does Noah. What happened? My dad kept telling me to get back up. And I kept falling. Were you crying? A little. A little. He gives me a look. I was 6. Fair point. He chuckles. A real chuckle. Warm. Soft. I stare at him. What? You laughed. So. I've never really heard you laugh before. His ears turn slightly pink. It wasn't that funny. It was to me. He shakes his head. I eventually learned. You became pretty good. I had no choice. Didn't you ever want to quit? He thinks for a moment. Once. What changed? My dad told me something. What? He said falling wasn't the part that mattered. I wait. He said getting back up was. I smile. That's a good lesson. It is. I lower my eyes. My dad used to teach me baking. He looks at me. He wasn't very good. I laugh. He burned biscuits more than once. What about cakes? Worse. He actually laughs again. But he always insisted he was helping. He sounds stubborn. He was. I smile through the memory. We made cookies together every Christmas. The ones you baked last week. I nod. They reminded me of him. He looks at me for a long second. They were really good. I smile. You admitted it. I already did. I know. It's still embarrassing. It shouldn't be. The room grows quiet again. Not uncomfortable. Just easy. Like we've known each other much longer than we actually have. Suddenly, A bright flash of lightning lights up the entire room. A loud crack of thunder follows almost instantly. I jump. A small gasp escapes my lips. Before I even realize what's happening, I feel warm fingers wrap gently around my hand. I freeze. I slowly look down. Adrian is holding my hand. His eyes widen at exactly the same moment mine do. Like he didn't even realize he'd reached for me. For one heartbeat, neither of us moves. Then he quickly lets go. He stops himself. It's okay. Our voices overlap. We both fall silent again. My hand still feels warm, even though his fingers are no longer there. Neither of us mentions what just happened. Neither of us looks at the other for a while. The rain keeps falling. The candle burns lower. We stay in the living room until the first light of morning begins to creep through the windows. Neither of us sleeps that night. When I finally stand and stretch, I smile at him. I should probably go upstairs before your parents think I've disappeared. He nods. Yeah. I walk toward the staircase first. A few seconds later, I hear his footsteps behind me. We climb the stairs separately, one after the other. The next morning, as I reach the bottom of the stairs again after getting dressed, Noah walks into the hallway carrying his gym bag. His eyes move to me, then past me. Adrian is coming down a few steps behind. Noah's smile slowly fades. He doesn't say anything, but something changes in his expression. For the first time, someone's heart quietly begins to break. Noah saw them together, and nothing will ever be the same again. What happens next will change all three of their lives. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in part 3. I stop trying not to like her. Thursday afternoon. My last lecture finishes earlier than expected. Students begin pouring out of the building. I spot Sienna walking alone with a stack of books in her arms. I jog over. Hey! She turns. Oh, hi. Heading home. Eventually. I point toward the street across from campus. Wanna grab a coffee first? She hesitates. I don't want to keep you. You're not. She smiles. Okay. My heart beats a little faster than it should. The cafe is warm and cozy. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air. Soft music plays through hidden speakers. We choose a table near the window. A waitress walks over. What can I get you too? Sienna studies the menu. I'll have a caramel latte, please. I grin. Still choosing sweet drinks. She laughs. They make me happy. I'll have a black coffee. The waitress smiles. I'll be right back. When she leaves, silence settles between us for a moment. Not awkward. Just quiet. I rest my arms on the table. So, tell me something about yourself that nobody knows. She thinks for a second. I still sleep with the small teddy bear my dad gave me when I was 8. I smile. Really? She nods. It makes me feel like he's still close. The smile fades from my face. I'm sorry. It's okay. No. I shake my head. It isn't. She looks out the window. I miss him every day. I know. She looks back at me. You do. I can see it. Her eyes soften. Thank you. The waitress returns with our drinks. After she leaves, the conversation becomes easier. We talk about school, books, music, childhood memories. She tells me how terrible she was at learning to ride a bicycle. I tell her about the time Adrian accidentally fell into a duck pond instead of the fountain. She laughs, so hard that people at the next table glance over. You are making that up. I'm not. He'll kill you if he hears this. Worth it. She wipes tears of laughter from her eyes. I haven't laughed this much in a long time. Neither have I. Hours seem to disappear without either of us noticing. For a little while, it almost feels like a real date. Then the bell above the cafe door rings. I glance toward the entrance. My smile fades. Adrian. He's still wearing his university hoodie. A notebook is tucked under one arm. He clearly wasn't expecting to see us. His eyes find mine first. Then, they move to Sienna. She's smiling, still laughing from my last joke. The moment Adrian sees us sitting together, his expression changes. The tiny smile he'd been wearing disappears. His jaw tightens almost too quickly to notice. He doesn't say a word. He simply stands there for one long second, looking at us, looking at the 2 untouched slices of cake we'd decided to share, looking at Sienna, then at me. Anyone else would miss it. I don't, because I've known Adrian for years. I know every look he has, every silence, every wall he builds. And I know exactly what this one means. Jealousy. Real jealousy. For the first time in our friendship, it feels like we're standing on opposite sides. I never thought my heart could become this confusing. A few weeks ago, my biggest worry was paying rent. Then I lost my dad. I lost my home. I lost the man I thought loved me. Now I'm living in a house that still doesn't quite feel like mine, caught between 2 people who make me feel completely different. Noah makes everything easy. Being around him is like sitting in the warm sunshine after days of rain. He always has a joke ready. He can make me laugh, even when I don't feel like smiling. Talking to him never feels difficult. There's never an awkward silence. Never a moment where I have to wonder what he's thinking. Adrian is different. Being around him is like standing too close to a fire. Quiet. Unpredictable. He hardly speaks, yet somehow he says so much without opening his mouth. One small smile from him stays in my mind for hours. One kind gesture from him makes my heart beat faster than it should. I don't understand it.